Okay, I think we got this. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I am following up from Friday's live stream. Friday's live, we were sadly interrupted by a phone call from the school. Before anything else, I'm a mom, and I love that my job allows me to do that first and foremost. So that in mind, when the school calls, I don't care what I'm doing, I'm always going to answer. And that's what I did, and the kiddo needed to get home from school. So, had to jump off. This morning, I'm going to pick up where I left off. I was on question number 3 of 5. Um, so, I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions now. And these are questions that I've gotten over the years. I didn't go through and get every question I've ever been sent or find everything I could have, I'm sure. But I grabbed, 5 that I knew I could find quickly, or that I did find quickly. So, before going any further, I guess we should just get into it. So, one of the questions that I got, this one timed itself between books 2 and 3, and it was, how long does it take for you to get a book to write a book? Well, the writing part is actually the easy part. After 10 years, it takes me about 6 weeks at the most to write a long book. And when I say long, I mean like 120, 130,000 words. Um, if I'm going to keep it kind of shorter, it might only take me a month to write it. And it takes about a month to go through the editing revision process, um, and releasing full length books. My most recent is actually up on the screen over here. Here, wait, there, wait. Yes, that. Still learning all the goes the pointing, but that's Ascension. That is the first book in the Zarok Legacy series, which is like 200 years after my original series. Now, the fun part about this is that original series was actually written because of this book. So, my original series, I got to the point where I could do a book pretty quickly, and this series, I'm much faster. However, the fun story is that the very first version of this book over here, the very first attempt to write this book, very first, I started it in 2002. It evolved from there. So, how long does it take to write a book? It doesn't take much. Protocol 70 was completed the first time in about 3 weeks after I finished Ascension. I was still in the groove and in the universe. My brain was really focused. It didn't take long. And that first version was about 80,000 words. I am doing rewrites on Protocol 70, which will follow up Ascension, and I'm hoping a second one this year, in this universe. Not counting all the short stories that you're going to see coming out all of a sudden here pretty quick. So, and short stories don't take me long at all to write. Week, usually. Week to edit, if my editors are ready. So there's that. Okay, so the next question. Do you enjoy reading? And if you do, what do you enjoy? And I do. I really love to read. It's one of my cozy cuddle up with a book kind of pastimes. Go shopping and pick up a story. It's awesome, and that has been one of my favorite relaxing things since I was probably 10 or 12 years old. So I've been at that one for a while. Now, what do I enjoy reading? I really actually enjoy a wide variety of stuff. I don't pick up too many romance centric stories, but sci fi I'll pick up. I won't do horror typically, but sci fi, some fantasy, lots of action, adventure stuff. Romance might be part of the story, but as long as it's not the driving factor, I tend to like full fleshed out all the things happening around the person instead of just the things happening between two people or three people or whatever the romance is supposed to be. And everyone's different, but this is me. So that's what I like to read. Um, the one that I was having trouble with on Friday that I wasn't sure how to answer, and I'm still not sure how to answer it, is how do you create your characters? And it's hard to explain because I don't really create them per se. They're just my characters. They are almost like these full-fledged people that live in my head. That probably sounds crazy. I'm okay with that though. I'm an author. That's kind of what we do. um but yeah, so it's really difficult for me to answer that one. I don't I don't really know how to answer it. My characters are they have full-fledged personalities, and if I have a throw a character in there that feels two-dimensional, there's a very good chance there's a whole reason why in that moment they felt two-dimensional, and I can probably tell you all about their backstory. And that could be the guy who was walking in to clean the toilets for the other guy who had just commanded the whole ship to go on lockdown. Um, it could be the guy who's cooking the food. I have a whole story for him. I know his backstory. I know his family. I know what he's been doing. And it's their full lives for me. These are people that are responding to the situations that they've been put in. And so explaining how I create them is just hard. I don't actually know how I create them. They just kind of are. That probably sounds silly. If you have any other questions, I'd be glad to do this again. You can leave your questions in the comments or in the chat box if you can't pop on before I pop off. And I would be happy to do this again. But those are my 3 of my 5 questions that I'd picked. And going forward, Ascension is the latest release. Down below in the comments or in the description, you'll find the link to the first book in all of Xerox, which is always free. So please grab that at any time. That is the foundation for the series. There are about 7 or 8 short stories, 9 short stories that are released to the entire they're released into the general public. And then I've got 1 short story that I'm pretty sure I'm not releasing on Amazon or Nook or Kobo or anyplace else. Originally, I had only intended on releasing it to my fans, to my readers, and because it's kind of a follow-up to the 4th book of the original Foundation series. And I've been giving this a whole lot of thought. And it's basically ready. It's been through a couple of editors. And I've been sitting on it for far too long. But what I think I'm going to do with that story, I'm going to do 2 things. It'll be my Facebook group. And you can look it up. It's, groups. Just look at Xarok, Xarrok. And you'll find both the Facebook page and the Facebook group for the books. And I may give it away in there, but I'm also very likely to give away to my newsletter as a follow-up. So if they subscribe and they get to book 4, they're going to get the chance to read what happened after book 4 with one of the greatest villains of my series. And Ascension, you actually get to find out what she's been up to since the end of book 4. So, kind of excited. Looking forward to a full year ahead and a year celebrating 10 years of being published. This is very cool. All right, my friends. I will see you Friday at 9 a.m. And I have my topic written around here somewhere, but I forgot to put it up. So it's ready. Wait, I forget what it is. So we'll see you Friday at 9. Bye.